Yeah, the guys, you guys know we love 2-minute drill. Yeah, I'll tell you what, when I was in the end zone, my back in the end zone after going down, it wasn't a good feeling. Looking up and seeing that, we had new life, the guys are confident, man. In 2-minute drill, he talks to a lot of people that first down is the catalyst. And so that is a key thing to get. And once we got it, however we get it, we started rolling, and so it was fun.
Well, when did you know it was on your shoulders to go out and win the game?
I knew the second they called the field goal team out there. Something I take a lot of pride in is having a neutral mindset, where it doesn't matter if we're running the offense out of the end zone or whether there's 10 minutes left in the game or if we're going on to hit a game-winning field goal. Staying neutral, not getting too high or too low on situations as a kicker is crucial. So for me, it's just whenever they tell me to go out there and kick the ball, I'll go out there and kick the ball. It's a pretty simple life, so I love it.
Describe the kick. What was it like?
It's cool. In my job, every play is the same play call, so that's something that we've been doing. Yeah, like when Sam Vanderhaar came in, we hit the ground running in January, and the amount of reps that we've gotten as an operation is almost overkill, I think. I've told people a lot that I think Sam Vanderhaar has gotten the most amount of reps holding out of anyone in the country in the last 12 months or whatever it is. And that's something that we take a lot of pride in. So we do that, so when we get into situations like this, it's just another kick and we can go out and execute like we've been doing for however long we've been here.
Will, you knew that there wasn't going to be a stoppage, that it was going to be in the run of play. Is that almost better that there's no time to think about it or dwell about it, just go out and do it?
There's always a lot of time to think about it when you're setting it aside. So it doesn't really matter to me. The time that people are looking at me is a small portion of the time that I'm spending thinking. So it goes back to that neutral mindset, and it's just whatever. I'll go kick the ball when they tell me to.
So what was it like watching it go through? Because that's the bottom line. That's your job. So.
It was awesome. You always talk about like celebrations you do and that kind of thing. They weren't. I didn't think of any of them. I think I just stood still.
Pandemonium is the word.
People to come celebrate with me, but it's cool, and it's cool to share that moment with all the guys on that field goal team. This year we've had a lot of buy-in from that group, so it's cool. It's cool to have everyone be a part of it.
Kalani said he wanted to see more urgency in the second half. What was kind of the tone in that halftime locker room coming?
Yeah, I think that it's easy in a big rivalry game to get caught up in the emotion of it. And I think we did a little bit of it in the first half, and then the second half we did a lot better of just kind of attacking it and doing our thing. And just getting back to our roots, man. It seems good for a reason. We do a lot of good things, and so just being us and not trying to be anything more or anything less, just being us was kind of the message.
Will, you grew up being a BYU fan. Your brothers went to BYU. You took the long road to BYU and everything. But to be able to cement yourself in this rivalry, not just with a game winner, but 3 field goals as well, what does that mean to you? And what do you think it would mean to like an 8-year-old Will Ferrin way back in the day?
8-year-old Will Ferrin would be hyped for sure. Probably more than I'm showing it right now. But it's cool. Like I've told people, and I was just telling my dad and my brothers who are out there that I think my first football memory is my dad explaining the Holy War. And it was, my dad's not that big of a football guy, so I don't know why that came up, but it was him explaining the Holy War, and I don't remember watching it at that age, but I remember him explaining it, and that just being such a big part of my childhood. Substitute teachers would come in, and I'd raise my hand and ask if they're a BYU fan or a Utah fan. And yeah, so it's cool. It's cool to be a part of it. I feel like I'm just a part of Cougar Nation. It's cool to see BYU win this game, and to be able to be in that role where I can fill my job, I can do my part is pretty cool. So yeah, it's surreal for sure.
Jake, you talked earlier this week about John Beck reaching out to you, talking about this rivalry game. How does your first one kind of live up to the hype?
It's been 18 years since the BYU quarterback won in the stadium, and that was number 12, John Beck. So he texted me yesterday. I was on the bus headed up here, and I was just gonna try to go replicate what another number 12 did back in the day. And he's awesome. He's an awesome resource, like I've said many times. And it was fun to get it done. I bet you he texted me, and I haven't looked at my phone yet. But he's an awesome guy to be able to lean on, especially in stuff like this. Like, this is my first Holy War. He's played a couple, so to be able to talk to him about it and just, be informed, basically, about what I'm getting into, what I'm walking into in Utah. And it's fun to get his perspective. The quarterback perspective is always different. At any level, you talk to the guy who's in the, Brady calls it the man in the arena, right? It's a different thing, and so it's cool to be able to talk to a guy who's done it like that, like he has, and just get his, words of wisdom.
What can you say about your defense to shut them out in the second half, giving you guys a chance?
Yeah, those guys are unbelievable. They were flying around the second half. It was a lot of fun to watch them. I was trying to get on the phone to talk to the guys upstairs, and next thing you know, it's fourth down. It's time to get back on the field. And so we had a lot of possessions in the second half. And so when you got a lot of possessions, you got a lot of chances to score. Odds are you're going to get a couple in there. And so those guys were unbelievable tonight. It is very fun to be able to lean on them when we need to. And we have a lot of times this year, and this week we did too. So I'm just happy we don't have to face them this year. Other than in practice, we don't have to do it for real, because those guys, I don't want to get hit by Jack Kelly, do you? But yeah, so they're awesome.
Jake, you mentioned it was pandemonium, but describe those final seconds as you put the team in position. You trust in Will, obviously, and the whole field goal team. But what's that moment? What was that moment like for you?
Yeah, I knew what we were doing. The play call, a little run left. He likes a little left. I knew that, and once I handed the ball out to LJ, I knew he'd secure it, get what he can, and it was time for a big game to build, to go out there and put it to the uprights. And so I handed the ball off, watched the play finish, and then turned around and found 44 and run out to the field and said, "Go get it, baby." And he did it. And we got so much confidence in this guy right before it. I hugged Hinckley, Rapati, just told him I loved him and that Will's going to make this kick. And I had Fessy too with me right before that, so it was between two guys that, got a lot of love for, and I was around, 100 people that I love and that are part of this family. So it was pandemonium, like I said. It was awesome to watch it go through. I think I knew it about halfway. I turned away because I knew it was in. If it wasn't, that would have been really awkward. But like I said, pandemonium, but also we had so much confidence in 44 to go out there and do his thing.
Jake, this team is 9-0, all on first place in the Big 12. You guys have never looked ahead, but can you kind of taste what is coming for this team? And the possibility of playing for a conference championship?
Yeah, I'm proud of these guys for putting us in a good position, right? Nothing you can ask for except for to control your own destiny at the end of the year. And so it's going to be fun to get down the stretch here, but it is still important to win every game ahead of you, because this is the Big 12 and anything can happen.
All right, thank you.